What is going on, guys? Welcome to the morning tea. I'm your girl, Alex Shipman, and I am joined by the amazing and wonderful Courtney Revolution. How you doing, Courtney?
Hello, good morning, Alex. Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney Revolution. Welcome to the morning tea. I'm doing good. Alex, how are you doing on this Thursday?
I am doing well because things are getting weird on the show today. Of course, if you saw our OMT story of the day, we're talking about this new Kanye leaked video later on in the show, so stick around for that because we might as well. It's like a weird Wednesday would make sense, but it's a weird Thursday today. It's a weird thick Thursday.
It's the twisted
right?
Thursday, girl. The twisted and thick, girl. That's what it is. T.
It is a twisted Thursday. How was your Wednesday night at home? Did you catch up on anything? Did you get some work done?
I did get a little bit of work done. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so I spent a lot of time on the phone with her, Kiki. After that, I did peek into a couple New York penthouses with Bravo, with My Real Housewives, and that girl. Shout out to Aviva. We love Miss Aviva. Let me be honest. We love Miss Aviva right now. And I'm a big Carol fan because Carol is just with it. She's very chill, very me in a social environment. I live for Miss Carol. But I'm trying to get caught up now. I need to get caught up. We keep talking about it here, so I want to make sure the next time it comes up, I'm ready.
Wait, speaking of those two women that you just discussed, Carol's in with the Kennedys. She dated one of the Kennedys.
Yeah. I had no idea. Girl, what is going on? Listen, Bravo gets the girls. Bravo really gets the girls.
And then there's an iconic Aviva moment that you haven't seen yet that when you see it, you're not going to believe it. So I'm so excited that you are now reliving the past few years of my life in Real Housewives of New York because I can't wait. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because there was the virtual reunion last night. So stick around for that later on the show. But before we get into that, Courtney, we got to talk about this David Blaine stunt that happened this morning. Did you see that?
Alex, let me tell you something. I am someone that is terrified of heights, hot air balloon rides, and trickery that I cannot figure out. And David Blaine kind of encompasses all of those things. So I was a little bit scared for David Blaine, but I kind of had the feeling that he would be all right. He's a master of the illusion and trickery and magic and hocus pocus. So did you see the pictures, girl?
Oh my gosh, I saw the pictures. T-Tribe, if you don't know what we're talking about, David Blaine this morning successfully pulled off this ascension stunt. So basically, he flew 25,000 feet in the air with 52 helium balloons. And it was live streamed on YouTube. I'm sure you can go check it out after the show. Millions tuned in. But then people took to social media to do these clever memes and comparing him to Pixar's movie Up with the famous balloon thing, all these funny things.
That's what he looked like.
Right? He actually looked like that, but we're glad he successfully pulled that off. I mean, I am scared of heights as well. This terrifies me. I could never do something like this, but I think it's
not for $50 million, Alex.
With
a little training and $50 million.
I do. I would do almost anything for $50 million. Listen, let's
Alex,
be real.
I gotta be honest. I would stay broke. I'm the person that I could look at. I don't know if you've seen on social media, y'all, up on Twitter, the videos of the people. They be jumping from cliff to cliff, not the parkour clips, but they will jump from rooftop to rooftop just for the stunt of it all. That makes me shaky inside, when I look at it. So $50 million, y'all might as well just put me on a reality show for the rest of my life and I'll make it that way. It won't be on nobody's balloon. Shout out to David Blaine though. That ain't me.
$50 is a lot of money. I think we could convince you. A few days of convincing, and maybe you do it. What if you could wear a blindfold, close your eyes the whole time?
I think the only way I would do it is if Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift both asked me, and at the end of it all, I would get $50 million and lunch at their house, 2 separate lunches. Because I want Taylor to bake for me, and Nicki cooks real good. So I want both.
All right. Okay, so I just got to reach out to Taylor and Nicki and let them know that you're going to pull off this stunt. 2021. Yeah. Courtney takes the world in a hot air balloon. stream this, you might want to stream Netflix pretty soon because I don't know if you heard this news, Courtney, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle just signed a major deal with Netflix. So get this. Basically, it's a multi-year production deal. The New York Times reported it, and the royal couple will be creating content that will include scripted shows, children's programming, documentaries, and feature films. So they basically said their focus is to create content that informs, but also gives hope. Now, of course, this deal comes 6 months after they basically decided to step down as senior working members of the royal family, which we kind of knew they wanted to move to LA. Of course, Meghan, has been in Hollywood before, and I think that's her true passion, and she couldn't do that as over there. So she came back to do this. So we kind of expected this would happen sooner or later. But Bazaar confirmed, which I think some of you may be thinking, Meghan won't be appearing as an actress in any of the upcoming projects. So both her and Harry are committing to being basically producers of the show. So this is pretty cool. What do you think about this?
Is that what they're gonna do for the rest of their lives? Is like produce things that help the planet potentially? Like, what do you do after you decide you're not royal anymore? I guess that was the question that they had to answer for themselves. Like, well, what do we do now? We're just looking at each other. I'm here for it. If it's something positive and it's going to be something good for the world, why not? Use your status, talent, and platform for something good. That's how I feel. I
agree. And there was also that report that Meghan was going to do like voiceovers. There was that famous photo of Prince Harry and Beyonce and all of them getting close, remember? The CEO of Disney, Bob Iger. So they've had plans to kind of get into this world, right?
Can you tell Alex that anything Disney just like immediately sparked something in me? Just the fact that you said Bob Iger, I immediately was like, Bob Iger.
No, listen, I feel you. I mean, Disney has a magic that you just can't explain. So I get it.
I know I got a signed letter from Bob Iger somewhere in my bedroom of my Disney internship. Shout out to Bob.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great man. I want to read that book, Ride of a Lifetime, his book. Have you heard about that book?
I'm sure it's very good. I have. I wanted to get into it, but I just haven't purchased it yet.
Yeah, me too. Well, T-Tribe, let us know two things. Would you, for $50 million, go up in a hot air balloon? And what do you think that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going to create for Netflix? Will we see some Princess Bride sequels? I'm trying to think of like royal, like I'm thinking all Lifetime movies are coming to mind of what to expect. But obviously it's going to be much better than that.
I don't even know what to expect. I think that that's exciting, is that I don't even know what is going on in their mind, what they could bring to the screen. So either way, I think I'm curious enough to want to check it out. Yeah.
Wesley says just like the Obamas. Yeah. Naturally, I guess powerful people are then transitioning into streaming content. Seems like a natural transition.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Alante says, I'm scared of heights, just like watching. It has me shook.
Me.
All right. Yeah. Crystal says, looks so cool, but scary. So, you know. Yeah, I'm scared of heights.
Would go for $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. Cassidy said she wants a reality show of their lives, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. That would be cool. I'd be interested to see.
I do, but I don't. The reason why I do is because I'm nosy and I don't know anything about them. I don't follow the royal family. I slept through the wedding or whatever happened and all of that. But I don't want it because reality TV ruins a lot of marriages. That I know for a fact. And I kind of like them together. So, why go through that? Give us if anything, Alex, how about this? A compromise. Let them produce a documentary about their lives. Or like, what if it's a 30-minute a day in the life of being royal or something like that, or ex-royal or something like that. I don't want it to be like a MTV or like a Bravo, because girl, the news will be they done broke up, girl.
Right? There's also this whole like fantasy about being royal and all of that I feel like reality would kind of ruin that. Like I kind of like that I don't know about their lives or what they do every single day. I kind of want to just fantasize about it. So I'm good with, I don't know if I need a reality show, but if they do make one, I am watching. So, because I'm like you, right? And we love a good reality show. But I think it's about that time, Courtney. So why don't you pour up that hot water? Let's drink some and a little vanilla Starbucks coffee that I am all about now, Tea Tribe. Let me just tell you. I know it's like not new, but it has changed my life. So
Alex,
cheers.
I have to be honest. Cheers, bam. But I have to be honest, I'm very upset that I have not been to the Starbucks to get my pumpkin cream cold brew. The boys and girls of the world know that that's my favorite thing since they discontinued Miss Gingerbread Latte once upon a time ago. And I have not had her yet, y'all. So if you're having a pumpkin cream cold brew today at any point, please think of me and dedicate it to me, and I appreciate you.
Wait, Courtney, I've tried that and it's delicious. But I'm kind of weird. Like I can't drink it before Halloween time, like or Thanksgiving time. I know. I'll have
If we was in the studio, every single morning I have a pumpkin cream cold brew. Every single morning. I stop at Starbucks, walk up to the office, and I come in every single morning. I think that that's the reason why I'm just like out of a routine from not being in the studio. I'm just used to getting out of my Uber, getting my pumpkin cream, saying hi to Sean, the barista. Y'all know Sean. And then kicking it on up to the studio. But I'm going to get it, though. I don't know how, but I'm going to get it.
We're all kind of out of our routines. We're making new quarantine routines, meaning my coffee, your watermelon mint, your green tea. We just gotta, it's part of life right now. But I think it's about that time. Let's get into You Missed It. Of course, these are some of the stories that were trending overnight. You may have missed. Don't worry, we have all the tea to spill for you. And first up, we're talking about Denise Richards and the Real Houses of Beverly Hills virtual reunion. So if you didn't catch it yet, there's a few spoilers we're about to tell you. Basically, the first part of the reunion wasn't very exciting, but then Denise joined and was put on the hot seat. And so the ladies all thought it was hypocritical of Denise to get upset over their threesome talk around her daughters. This has been an ongoing storyline. But she also talked about her husband's big wink at the same dinner party, and just over the time, sometimes she's open, sometimes she's not. So they think she's been very hypocritical. So it turns out, as we spoke about on the show, that Denise's daughter wasn't upset. She kind of laughed about it, and Denise had made it such a big deal. But the biggest argument came when Denise was asked about liking a tweet that suggested Lisa Rinna should lose her job. So basically, Denise is saying she liked the tweet because she saw a shady comment about Erica Jane. Okay, so here is the basically the tweet. I don't know if you can hear Lisa. Lisa is mad. She says, Denise thinks I should lose my job and that I'm a racist. It was vile. So Denise is saying that never happened, and she's really responding to something Erica Jane said, where Erica was like, basically referred to teenagers in general have sex. And Denise said, Denise thought she was talking specifically about her daughter and was offended. There's a lot of drama, a lot of different stories. However, this tweet is like a big part of the reunion. And so do you think Denise liking it was to give a dig at Lisa Rinna?
Listen, I'm going to say something that Lisa Rinna was saying in her Instagram comments, Alex, the second that finale dropped. It's an effing show. That's what she kept telling all the fans in her comments, right? So Lisa, shout out to you. You know I love me some Lisa Rinna. My mother's a big fan when she goes to the QVC. Shout out to Lisa. But Miss Ma'am, you were definitely the mess box of this season to me. Yeah. I feel like everyone's ganging up on Denise, and truthfully, I feel like production, and this is no shade, because shout out to Bravo. Y'all know y'all my favorite network just about. I feel like production played a huge part in how the audience, they wanted the audience to perceive Denise. They wanted us to look at her like she was a drunk, lying mother. You get what I'm saying? But you got to think back, Alex. Think back to when there was a moment when Garcelle was going to pick up Denise, and the producer comes over. How could she play you like that? The least she could have done is call you. Oh, Kyle, did you know that Brandy was going to be at this party? Kyle's mouth said no, and face said yes. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like if I felt like I was continuously being set up by the same group of people or by the same sort of situation, I wouldn't want to be part of it. Two, I would call out the people that were trying to smear my name because I feel like Lisa at some points got a little smeary. Why not? I'm Team Denise. Period. Gather the girls. Right now, my favorites are Garcelle, Denise, and Miss Sutton. Give the Southern Queen her diamond, Andy. I'm not playing with you.
Yeah.
I get so serious, Alex.
No, I do agree with you that a lot of this has to do with production and editing. And let's just say, we both work in this industry. You can edit anything you want. However, Denise was one of my favorites, and I was Team Denise. But I do think that some of her credibility, edited or not, is kind of being played with. She is being caught in a few lies, so to speak. Like we said, we don't know the actual truth of the affair, but it's leading to the fact that Denise is lying. Denise just doesn't look good. And it could be production's fault, but if you're just watching it and not remembering it's a show, this whole real Denise Richards is kind of losing her credibility, so to speak. So I still want to like her. You know what I mean? I still want her to come back and kind of prove them wrong. But at this point, I don't know. And then Garcelle, that whole thing, her one friend, they're now putting Garcelle against her. So now who does Denise have left?
That's production. You remember Denise said, I didn't want you to have to lie for me. You get what I'm saying? I didn't, when I was watching the finale, y'all, because there was a situation where basically Denise Richards had to go to she was basically supposed to be at a party. Garcelle was supposed to pick her up, basically production making sure that she was going to be there. So of course her friend is going to pick her up. And then she basically ghosts her. She gets to the hotel, Denise ain't there. And I get that. I don't know. I saw a lot of myself in that Denise. Alex, I'm the person where if you invite me somewhere, I'm the who's all going to be there person. Because if it's somebody I don't like, I ain't coming. You can ask anybody, Alex. If it could be one person. If I really don't mess with them like that, I'm not coming. So I get Denise. She didn't come to the shower or whatever it was at Buca de Beppo, right? Brandy was there. She didn't show up at Miss Kyle's house. Shout out to Kyle. That's my girl though. And Brandy was there. I get it. If she had a feeling, an inkling, I might as well be laid up with my man with the big, you know what. It felt like voting.
Listen, I understand her not showing up, but at the same time, you can argue that she did sign up for this show, part of the show. Unfortunately, the storyline is not going in her favor. You still got to show up. Even if you know Brandy's there, don't talk to her. Not showing up is kind of a cop-out. It's like you're part of the show.
Alex, last thing. This is my last point, right? Now, imagine if Denise went to the Buca de Beppo and she went to the Kyle's thing. Brandy, the production has forced Brandy to fight with her, right? Now, we've got a scandal here, mess here. And then at the end of it all, reunion, Andy don't send her no offer letter and chance to go and redeem herself. Then what? Now she's stuck with that and she's in a custody battle with her kids. That's what I'm thinking about. I ain't losing no baby over no Andy. No shade to Andy, but he understands the father. But I'm not losing my kids over no Brandy. Absolutely not. Very
true. Good point. Yeah, I mean, it got heated, but the episode before, we talked about this for a whole hour. So why don't we move on?
I know. Let me stop. I'm gonna shut up, girl.
I know. We're like true Real Housewives fans, so we have so much to discuss. But what I will say is that I feel like Denise, like the whole season desist, that whole part, her saying you can't, that was some tea showing that, that interaction of Lisa and her right before, it was the episode before the reunion, and Lisa's like, ooh, you're angry, that moment. Ooh, you're angry.
Alex, with that season desist, I wonder if that fell under, there's a part in the trailer that's not in the show. Remember when Denise shows up for her confessional in the super trailer? We never saw none of that.
We didn't.
I got questions, Bravo.
I know. We got questions. But that was the one of the most real moments we saw. Like, they broke the third wall. And I loved it. And we got a lot of insight. All right. So let's move on to breaking the third wall. Because listen to this. Lily Reinhart is breaking the third wall of what life will be like on, I guess it's the fourth wall, not the third wall. Who knows? Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's breaking the wall. And Lily Reiner is giving us some insight of what life is going to be like back to working on set of Riverdale. So Lily's back to work, and she's saying she feels like a prisoner. So, of course, they are filming Riverdale, the 5th season, back in Vancouver. She says there's mixed emotions. She says it's exciting to be back, but she also feels trapped, saying to Nylon, quote, I genuinely feel like a prisoner going back to work because I cannot leave Canada. That doesn't feel good. She says you can't go home for Thanksgiving, can't visit your family. No one can come visit you unless they quarantine for 2 weeks. It just feels effed. So, Courtney, would you feel trapped in this situation? Do you think she should be comparing herself to a prisoner? I mean, prisoner doesn't make her check.
Alex, y'all need to stop comparing yourselves to prisoners, because prisoners barely even eat. In my opinion, Lily, girl, suck that up, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're quarantined and you're not getting no coin. You quarantine and you're getting your coins together so that when we do reach another state of normalcy, you can go and see your family and do all of the things. Complaining and comparing yourself to a prisoner, like Ellen did something similar like that. Like comparing yourself to a prisoner. How about y'all both go on 60 Days In, one of my favorite shows, and y'all pretend to be civilians and go into a prison for 60 days and see what it's really like before you go and you make those statements like that. Because I think it's a little insensitive.
Right. I completely agree. I think that while I understand that this is going to be difficult for her and, her normal kind of experience of filming and still being able to see family and go home and all that. Listen, I feel for her. I get that. But I also think we're all kind of dealing with that at this moment. She's not alone. I feel like this is what's happening in quarantine in general. At least, personally, I would still be grateful that I'm working and receiving a check. I don't think she's wrong for complaining, but it's a little first world problems to me because, and I love Lily and I love her on Riverdale. And I think that, I can relate to what she's saying. I know it's not going to be easy, but it's not easy for anyone right now, So she's just gotta remember that she's not alone.
I haven't seen my mama and my pappy either, Lily. And I'm stuck in LA and I'm working every day, girl, and I can't go home for Thanksgiving, and I can't go home for Christmas either.
It's true. It's true. 2020, man. Just what a year. Speaking what a year, listen to this. So Britney Spears still filing new court documents. So her legal team filed court documents on Monday requesting a change in her conservatorship. So Britney requested that the Bessemer Trust Company be appointed as conservator of her estate. So the documents state, listen to this. This is a voluntary conservatorship. Conservatee wishes to exercise her right to nominate a conservator of the estate under Probate Code Section 1810. So in addition to the changes requested by her team, Britney is seeking, quote, the power and authorization to pursue opportunities related to professional commitments and activities, including but not limited to performing, recording, videos, tours, TV shows, and other similar activities, as long as they are approved by the conservator of the person and the conservatee's medical team. So this is a little update. Basically, she's saying that this is a voluntary conservatorship, or her legal team is admitting that this is voluntary, which is interesting because we all didn't know that part of the story. Then also continue to state that Britney wants her father, Jamie Spears, to be terminated as conservator of her estate. While Britney doesn't seem to be looking to terminate her conservatorship, she does seem to be looking for more autonomy in her decisions and how she would like to work creatively. So this is, is Free Britney a thing? Is it a real thing? If this is a voluntary conservatorship, does this bring up the idea that Free Britney may not be real, so to speak? Or is this just
Britney
saying,
as captive as we think?
Right, exactly. What do you think, Tina? This is very interesting.
I'm very, very Hmm. I think for me, the focus is the fact that Britney says she want to hop back on the stage. Honestly, because I didn't see her
Yeah,
saying that so soon.
right,
But I am a little bit surprised at that. Britney said, "Let me out. Sam is looking good, but my fans are looking better, and I feel that. And we miss you too, Brit."
right.
Um, if Britney is well enough to perform, then this is a good thing. I wonder why. Oh my God, Celine, get out of my head. Celine's literally in the chat, finishing my sentence. I wonder why we didn't know that it was voluntary for so long,
Right?
or why we thought it was involuntary. Was that something we assumed, or was that written somewhere? When we think conservatorship, do we just think people are forced into that? Is that what it is? Right? It kind of comes
I,
off that way. Someone taking control of your decisions and making sure your money is right and all that. I guess why did it take so long for that clarity?
I don't know, but it could have been voluntary, but Jamie kind of took it to the next level because
Mm.
having him being terminated shows that Free Britney is still a thing, that she is being controlled in some way by her father. Even if it's voluntary, she may have admitted or accepted, this conservatorship, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize the extent of control her father would take on her life. So maybe Free Britney is
Hmm.
still real and thriving. But like
I
you
think
said,
we
I'm
won't
happy.
know until we see Britney walk on somebody's stage. Like, can we see? Like, I won't feel okay until American Music Awards specifically. It has to be that specific award show. Don't ask me why, but American Music Awards, when they say "and the return of Britney" and they play the quick little montage and an ad or something, then that's when I'll feel like Britney is okay all the way for me. You know,
Did you,
I need
did
that,
you
and I don't want to give me more either. I want her back like Vegas.
wait, Courtney? Did you hear my Britney
Oh,
impression? You missed it.
no, I missed it. What
Hey,
you said?
yay, yay. You should do it a second time so you really got the full experience. Once we hear that,
Alex
oh
Spears in the house, girl.
yeah,
Silly.
right?
That was
No, but
good.
this is not something to take lightly. We hope that this, goes into effect. Obviously, Britney understands that, she needs more power and authorization to pursue these opportunities. We want her to be back on stage. So I think, I hope this goes through because we really want her freed. We need to see her back, right? I
I don't even
know.
want she's for even if it's one night. I'll pay for one night. Get Britney in somewhere. It could be a little dinky bar in North Hollywood, girl. I'll risk the Rona, girl. I'll get in the Uber, girl, and ride to NoHo to see Brit. She gonna put me in a cubicle? Wait, maybe I won't see Brit. I might watch her from the laptop. But Brittany, go off, girl. You ain't even gotta move the lower half of your body. Give us some of this and the hits and one of these, and she could get at least $100 of my dollars. Promise
Yeah.
her that. $100, Brittany. She can have it. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, listen, speaking about getting $100, let's talk about this Bella Thorne news because Bella Thorne's sister has entered the chat lashing out. So, as we know, Bella Thorne joined OnlyFans. We spoke about this on the show before, but she even set a record, pulling in more than 2 million in subscriptions in less than a week. But the influx of this traffic and cash flow created a problem for the site. Many of its longtime users. Critics said that Bella was only using OnlyFans for scamming her fans, not delivering what she promised. Bella issued an apology. We spoke about it on the show. People seemed somewhat appeased. But Bella's sister, Callie Thorne, joined the story. She too joined OnlyFans and posted a comment saying she argued that sex work should not be considered real work, saying, quote, "The argument is that sex should not be work. That's why it turns into human trafficking and should be stopped. Sex work does not exist. It is not real." Needless to say, this angered the creators on OnlyFans, saying her remarks are openly insulting millions of Americans who make money from sex work. So then Callie defended herself, saying, quote, "I was not calling any sex worker insatiable slut or any other type of slut. I was directing my comments back to these girls that call themselves that." Do we think her sister's just looking for attention? Do you think this apology really kind of just smooth it all out, or do you think it's genuine? How do you feel about this, Courtney?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it cute today.
I know when you start with
I didn't even know Bella Thorne had a sister, first of all, and I certainly did not know that was her.
Right.
I think that y'all should leave sex workers alone. Is she mad at people like sex workers calling themselves sluts? Is that the issue, Alex? Is that she is confusing people reclaiming that word for their brands? Like, I don't understand. Let me try to explain why I'm annoyed by this, right? So even now and back then, there were so many kids and teenagers and young adults that were prostituting just to make money because they were homeless. So now, Alex, fortunately, we're in a day and age where you don't have to go and sleep with a stranger. You don't have to flip through the yellow pages of friend service or however that escort service works. You don't have to do those things, girl. You can just turn on the camera, get naked by yourself safely and healthily, and come out with $1,000 at the end of the month. So I wish that people would just sit there and eat their food and mind their business, because unless they're taking money out of your bank account or unless your child is watching and that's inappropriate, I feel like you shouldn't even really have an opinion on sex workers, especially in a negative light, because you're not one. She's not part of the community, right? Or she is. So why are you, how you gonna come in the door, kicking down the door and be mad at the people that were trying to hold it open for you? You get what I'm saying? Why be so judgmental?
Yeah, I agree. Someone in the chat is saying, who asked this sister for her opinion? And I think it's just as simple as that. I don't think that her sister is helping Bella's case. You know, Bella issued an apology and it should stay at Bella. I don't think anyone else commenting on it really has a place to do that. I understand her sister wanting to support her, but I think she's just making it worse. She's digging herself in a further hole, and she should just keep quiet. Ugh, too much. All right, well, let's get into this news, because Selena may be taking a break from music and looking to focus on an acting career. So, of course, Rare Makeup dropped today. So get those crowns in the chat, because I know we're very, very excited. Did you buy any of Rare Beauty today? Did you? Let us know. Did you get that little that 2-in-1 compact or that liner? I'm very, very excited. Well, get this. An insider reports that 2021 is going to be an even better year for Selena. She's going to reach new levels. She's not rushing into releasing anything else, since she wants her song with Blackpink, Ice Cream, to breathe a little before she makes any moves. Of course, we know that. We also know that her HBO Max cooking show, Selena and Chef, has been a success. She got renewed for season 2. She really enjoys cooking and wants to expand on that, this source said. But listen, let's talk about her acting career, because Selena says she wants to continue to shoot movies once it's safe to do so again. So she's looking for an iconic acting role that would define her acting. So I think this is great. I think, we know Selena, of course. Selena started on the Disney Channel. We know her as an actress first, then turned singer, turned entrepreneur, turned everything else amazing that Selena does. I personally think that she needs some sort of dramatic role. I know we talked about before we went live, she did Spring Breakers. That was a different look for Selena. But that kind of iconic role, like possibly a biopic where she is someone else, very iconic, would be kind of this a role that would transform her career. What do you think, Courtney? Do you think she should acting?
I think my thing is this. The dramatic thing is, girl, that's going to work. You get what I'm saying? That'll at least get Selena an Oscar nomination. But what I think would be interesting and also revitalize a genre, or at least put more mainstream eyes back on the genre, is I would love it if Selena was a horror movie final girl. I want to see Selena Gomez chased. I want to see her jumping off the roof. Yeah, I want Selena Gomez to be the star of a brand new horror movie franchise that is just as iconic as a Halloween, a Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't want her to be in a remake. I don't want Evil Dead 59. I want a brand new horror movie that is terrifying. Like, I flash back to Paranormal Activity when I went to see it and everyone was in the theater silent. And you could hear people like trying not to breathe until the jump scare came. I want Selena in something like that, and I want her to live. I think that horror movies in the past couple years have been awful, and remakes are boring at this point. So I want Selena to do something new. I think that that would be shocking. And if it's done right, I think it could get a lot of notoriety. Like Neve Campbell, girl. We need her to the second coming to Neve, girl. Mm.
I mean, we heard the rumors about Scream 5. That's where Neve Campbell, she was in Scream. So she's on the right track. Maybe this is her way of kind of promoting, like, she's going to be in Scream or confirming some way, But I think that horror movie is a great idea. I think, anything horror, dramatic, something very different than we've seen Selena in would be amazing. I saw someone in the chat said Selena started on Barney, but really broke through on Disney. Very true. My mistake. Selena started on Barney, but yes, still in television and very PG. So to see this new aspect of her, she's also grown up, since the Disney, and has, she's in her 20s. She's mature. She's probably looking for and craving that mature role. So I would love to see her do something.
I'm ready for that. That's what I want.
Right? We just need to see it. We need to see it. Oh, Wesley's saying she could work with Ryan Murphy or Jordan Peele. Yeah.
Period. That's exactly what I was thinking. Good job, Wesley. Absolutely. Yes.
That would be
American Horror Story with Selena, girl. Whew. Coven Part 2, girl, starring Selena Gomez, girl. Whew. Emma Roberts, girl. Have the baby, girl. We need you, girl. Whew. That would be good, girl. Call Ryan. Ryan, hit our line. Because we got the story for you.
Exactly. All right. Well, on that note, it's time for our couples Thera Tea. This one, we're talking about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth again. So in a brand new podcast, it was Joe Rogan's podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, brand new interview. Miley Cyrus was a guest on the show. She held nothing back. So she talked about her sobriety and talked about her past drug use throughout her career. Take a look at it right now.
And then,
what's the answer to that question?
How much weed can I actually smoke and still play a teenage superstar on the Disney Channel? and then,
what's the answer to that question?
More than you would fucking think.
I love her for that. She said, sis, THC will not stop me from getting these lines. Girl, you better tell the truth.
Yeah, it's crazy. She also talks about how addiction impacted her family. She wanted to be just about her opinions. When you're someone she said, quote, when you're someone in my position, your opinion becomes your identity and also becomes almost like a preacher. I decided to start telling people I live my own lifestyle. So for Miley, sobriety is abstaining from smoking, but she'll have a celebratory drink every so often. So that was interesting because of course, we know Miley's been sober for 6 months. We know it originally had to do with her vocal cord surgery, and then she just realized she really embraced and liked that healthy lifestyle. But I didn't realize she was still drinking. Did you know that, Courtney?
I didn't know that, but for some people, one vice is like the main vice, and the other ones are very easily manageable. So I imagine Miley was like, well, girl, I can have a drink once this song comes out and then not drink for until the music video comes out or the next single comes out, and still continue to work out, exercise, yoga, and the like. Because we know Miley loves a good acai bowl, girl. She could come right to my house. I'll blend it up.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And then also, everyone knows about Miley's divorce to Liam. So basically, she's been an open book, but says, quote, what really sucked about it wasn't the fact that me and someone that I love realized that we don't love each other the way we used to anymore. That's okay. I can accept that. I can't accept the villainizing and just all those stories. So, of course, we know she's been in the public eye since she was a child, but she still gets surprised that her personal life can be like picked apart in the press. And of course, we know that, the press talked about her fling with Caitlyn Carter and then Cody Simpson. I mean, they obviously, she's a celebrity. They talk about her all the time. So she addressed how the media doesn't mention any gaps in time, saying, quote, one day you were happy on the carpet and the next you're making out with your friend in Italy. What the F? Well, there was a lot of time between that you didn't see. So, media loves to spin the story. So basically she's saying like, listen, yeah, I had a fling, And then there were 6 months, and then I dated someone else, but they'll only villainize her and say, well, shortly after Caitlyn Carter, Miley is dating Cody Simpson, and they spin it, which I understand media can do that. So she gave her life mantra also, and listen to this.
And my position, I tell myself all the time, if you're not enjoying this life, honey, you got it coming in the next one, because I better fucking love this life. It's the best one.
No,
So
she says something.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this? Do you think Miley, her being villainized by the media is something she should worry about and should bother her? Or do you think it kind of comes with the life of a celebrity?
I think it comes with the life of a celebrity. Also, not defending all media outlets, but you can't really be mad at people offering commentary based off of what they're given. So if Miley were an open book and told us every single intimate detail of her life, then she probably wouldn't be critiqued so harshly or inaccurately, I think is a better word. But we only talk about what we are given, girl. So people got to make money just like you go up there and strum on your guitar and cut mullets and everything else. So shout out to her. I just feel like this is the career that you signed up for. So
yeah, it's kind of similar to the Lily Reinhart. Right. Similar to the Lily Reinhart story we spoke about earlier. It's like, unfortunately, this comes with the job. Being in the limelight comes with people feeling that they can judge anything and everything you do. And it's unfortunately part of that. I'm not saying she's wrong for being upset that they're villainizing her, but it comes with this life. So it's something you're going to have to deal with, and she will have to deal with probably for the rest of her life. But speaking of the rest of your life, Kylie may be considering a second child, and Travis Scott will be the father. So it looks like Kylie hasn't ruled out having a second child with Travis. It's been almost 2 years since they officially called it quits, but they've been on and off again, from month to month. We've seen them together co-parenting, but sources talk to Us Weekly saying neither is fully committed, and Kylie is definitely crushing on other guys. The source also noted that they are young and figuring out their next step. But insiders say that Kylie loves being a mom, and coming from the same source, Kylie definitely wants more kids. She's just not sure about if it will be with Travis, but again, it could happen one day. So insiders say Travis is hopeful that he and Kylie will reconcile, which we can assume that he's also hopeful that they have a second child together. Now, do you want this to happen, Courtney? Do you want Kylie and Travis to be back together and possibly have a second child? How do you feel?
Sure, why not? I feel like he ain't do nothing to her that we know about, or she didn't do nothing to him that we know about, except go to the studio with Tyga, and that was after the fact. So who cares? Have your baby, girl. Yeah. Right? I feel like they're fine, and they're probably the most stable couple out of the whole entire family. So I'm not mad at Kylie having more children with Travis Scott specifically. Now, if it's somebody else, I'll be like, who that?
Right. I see you guys in the chat, almost 2 years. I thought they broke up last year. Did they break up last year, Courtney?
Mason said it on TikTok last year? Maybe, or was that this year?
Yeah, it's been this year. It could be within the last 2 years they broke up. And, but I think it's a little confusing because there's a little gray area because we've seen them together. They quarantined together. So we don't actually know what's going on. However,
you know what? It had to have been last year because that is when the Travis Scott thing came out, Alex. And that was like the last time they were on the carpet together. And that was the last time we saw them together before it was confirmed.
Right. Yeah. So, they obviously have a lot of love for each other. I think that if they do end up getting back together, it would be beautiful for them to have another child and a sibling for Stormy. So I'm here for it. If they're into it, I'm into it. Right. But something else I need to know, T-Tribe, if you're into or not into, is Khloe's Bedazzled Febreze giveaway. So how much of a Khloe stan are you? Because we know Khloe is known for her cleanliness. But yesterday, she brought out her Bedazzled Febreze bottles, in a new giveaway. Running until September 9th, fans can enter to win an autographed, bedazzled bottle of Febreze signed by Khloe herself. Now, the Febreze bottles are valued at $95.49. Are you going to enter the contest, T-Tribe? And Courtney, how are these bottles $100? What is going on?
Girl, hope Khloe made a bag. Let me say that. I hope Khloe made a bag from doing this. And shout out to her. She looks like herself in the photograph. Thank you, Khloe Kardashian. That's what I can praise her for.
I'm not going to lie. These bedazzled Febreze bottles caught my eye. I will say I am a client of Febreze, I guess. Not a client, but I do buy Febreze around the house. I also have garbage bags that have the Febreze scent. Listen, they're expensive, but it's worth it. They make your trash smell like roses. So if you're interested, and this is not an ad, let me just say. But Khloe, yeah. But Khloe, this is right on brand for Khloe to be sponsored by Febreze and have this giveaway go on. Someone actually bedazzled those Febreze bottles. So I'm wondering, when that person got that order, what was going through their head? They were like, Khloe Kardashian wants to bedazzle Febreze bottles.
I'm just telling you right now, the second one of my little bedazzled rhinestones fall off, I will be emailing Miss Khloe Kardashian to where I could send it to have it replaced. Because y'all not gonna give me no bedazzled Febreze from Khloe and the rhinestones is falling off. That better be some real diamonds. I'm about to get up my little monocle, girl. Are these real? Girl, girl.
Right? I'm just gonna say that, of course that money could be spent much better, but this is, very on brand to do this Kardashian spin to a sponsored post and bedazzle your Febreze. I mean, couldn't get more Jenner. Speaking of Kar Jenner, Courtney.
We done moved into Kar Jenner tea time, girl. Couples Thera Tea and Kar Jenner tea time was all the same thing.
Why don't you end our Kar Jenner tea time with our infamous Kar Jenner intro? We could do it at all times. Let's do it.
Now we have got all of the tea from behind the Kar Jenner gates. Turn your volumes down because we are exiting Kar Jenner tea time. Have a good one to everyone in my studio. Myself.
Yes. Okay. And on that note, you know what I'm just so excited to talk about this. It is time for our OMT story of the day, and this one is weirder than ever. So, in a brand new Kanye West music video that has been leaked for his 2017 track "Feel Me" with Tyga, it was leaked by the director. So the director's name, Eli Russell Linetz. He shared the video to his Instagram, captioning, quote, "I directed this 3 years ago. No one's ever seen it before. #FeelMe." So in this leaked video, Kim gives birth to Kylie, is what people are saying. So the music video features monster trucks that have Calabasas, as you just saw, across the side of them. There's lightning. There's giant Kylie and Kim's in their underwear. Kylie's rocking this blonde pixie cut. I mean, it is all weird. We don't know what's going on. But then at the 3-minute and 17 mark in the video, Kylie can be seen walking from between the legs of a giant Kim Kardashian. All right? So it's pretty crazy. You can see Kim also in this blonde pixie cut in this part. Here it is. Many fans have been noting that it appears, that Kim is giving birth to Kylie. Well, the director, Eli Russell Linetz, who directed the video as well, of Kanye's Famous and Fade videos, he's directed both of those, exclusively told E! News that the shot of Kylie Jenner seemingly walking out of Kim Kardashian's lady parts is symbolic of her rise to fame. So he said it's a metaphorical meaning, being that there would be no Kylie without Kim. So that is some tea. First of all, why is this video being dropped 3 years later? And second of all, do you agree with that metaphor? do you think there would be no Kylie without Kim? We're getting really into it.
First of all, Eli might want eyes on him because, work could be slowing up. So linking yourself to Kanye, who's all over the place doing whatever he wants, is kind of like a smart move in the clout universe. I also just think that it was just leaked just because it's the election time about to be. And so it just puts more eyes on Kanye. They could have talked about leaking it, Alex. I definitely don't count that out. In terms of Kylie and Kim, that's the truth. That's the fact. There would be no Kylie Jenner. Shout out to her. Both women are very successful, great business women, but there would be no Kylie Jenner without Miss Kimberly Kardashian. Shout out. Listen, Alex, I have said 50 million times on this show that Kylie Jenner is going to be Kris Jenner, and that video just literally proved it. Like, if y'all don't see Chrissy and Kylie Jenner, like that, Kylie is literally going to grow up to be Kris. I'm so glad this music video is out because it just gives a visual to what I was thinking. Like, she doesn't have to have like a little dark bob. Like, it could be a little cute blonde bob,
Yeah.
And I thought she looked like a little kitty cat. Meow.
The chat is saying that Kylie looks like Miley in this, so I get those vibes.
Like Miley. That ain't no mullet, y'all.
Listen, I agree with you. Shout out to Kylie. She's done very, very well with her platform. But like you said, Kim started this whole brand, so to speak. And, a lot of people will say that there would be no Kim without Paris Hilton. Because we know that's how Kim
absolutely.
Right?
You were
so we can also
beforehand. So yes.
But I think that happens with everyone. You got to break into the industry somehow. So it's not, it's no shame in that, but they did a very, very great job of capitalizing on this platform that was, created. However, Kim started it.
Alex, Kylie had to have agreed with the concept or else she wouldn't have did it. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm sure that's like an inside joke throughout the family. I'm sure Scott brings it up all the time, girl. That there would be none of this without Kim. And so shout out to Kim. That's why when she screamed at Courtney about owning a business, and if you was the real businesswoman, I felt that. Because Courtney, for you to not be wanting to show up to none of this stuff, or we got to work around your schedule, girl, and you wouldn't even have no schedule if it wasn't for me doing what I did. She warranted that. So I feel that. Mm-hmm.
But on that note, you can be provided a platform. There's a lot of celebrity children that don't really capitalize on that or, use that to their advantage. So that's why I'm still, shouting out Kylie, because she really, you either sink or swim. And she's swimming. She is swimming. A billionaire, so to speak, but she's a great businesswoman. And like you said, I think she'll end up, I agree. I think she'll end up to Kris Jenner status one day also.
Alex, now I hate that I know this about Kylie. So now that I apply this and I look at everything that this outlet reports with an eyebrow now. Now it was reported, not to get off topic, but still in the vein, we know Kylie was a billionaire according to Forbes now. They said that Tyler Perry is a billionaire. And now I'm wondering if that's the truth now, since it wasn't accurate with Kylie.
Yeah. You're questioning Forbes' reporting now.
Mm-hmm. I got to be honest. My mind immediately went to Kylie. Kylie woke up and said, what y'all talking about? This billion in the bank is looking like a billion. Like, you know what I mean? So now I wonder.
I know. Well, listen, we will continue wondering where this video came from, why it came today, or I should say yesterday. But on that note, that is all the tea we have to spill today. Now, before we go, Courtney, I think we need a little 5, 6, 7, 8.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya. Miss Mika, she on fleeka. Miss Mika, she loves the tea, and we see ya. Miss Mika, go Mika, go Mika. Go, Mika. Hey, Mika. Happy Thick Thursday to our good sis.
Yes. We didn't want to end the show without our Miss Mika song. So happy to see you. And on that note, we will be back tomorrow, same time, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time for Shambong Friday. We're going to have a little champagne and spill a little more tea before the long holiday weekend. Of course, Courtney, where can they find you if they're new here?
If you're new here and you want more pop culture videos and mess, as well as to follow me on social media, just type in Courtney and Revolution. You can follow, subscribe, do all the things.
Yes, and I'm Alex Schiffman. You can follow me on all social media at Alex Schiffman. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts with us on all the tea we spilled today because it was good and weird and all that greatness. And on that note, Courtney, why don't you take us out because I need to wash my hands a little bit.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And now it's time to wash your hands, Leo. You better wash